So, Bright,
Yes.
we have reached the letter S in the A to Z of rock. S. So, where should we start? I think we should start with an icon of the rock industry, of rock music
From New
for
Jersey?
50 plus years from New Jersey, but not John Bon Jovi, because he
Okay.
would have been in the bees. Um,
It's Southside Johnny.
it is not Southside Johnny. It's Northside Billy. It's the boss, Bruce Springsteen. I always remember it about episode 2 or 3 or something like that. We were talking about Bruce Springsteen coming to the UK, and I said it'd be nice for him to play near me when I lived near Croydon. And we wrote a letter to him saying, "Dear the boss,"
Dear the
because you
boss.
call him the boss.
I
You're
call
so
him the
familiar with him.
boss. I
You
call
just
him the
call him the
boss.
boss. All
Yeah,
right, the boss. How's it
the
going?
boss.
We up to today, the boss. So Bruce Springsteen. I mean, wow, still going strong. You've seen him a couple of times, haven't you? You love the boss, don't you?
I love going to see the boss live. I don't have that many albums by him, and I always remember the first time going to see the boss in Sunderland, and it was an hour and a half into the show, Matt, and I knew one song.
Wow.
He's still, he's mid 70s now. He's had a few
Yeah.
health scares of late. I
True.
know he's had to cancel a couple of shows on his European tour, but when he plays, he gives you 3.5 hours of just solid rock and roll. Yeah, he's an icon, as you say. So
Mm,
no better place to start the S's than the boss, Mr. Springsteen. Stick whatever you want
absolutely.
on the playlist of Bruce Springsteen. Born to
Oh,
Run.
I will. I will. Yeah, I love that song. Born to Run. That was his third album. It released 2 albums in 1973, in the days when they used to release a couple of albums a year. Greetings from Asbury Park and The Wild, The Wedding and the E Street Shuffle. And then, as you say, moved on to, I mean, just iconic albums. Born to Run, Darkness on the Edge of Town. The River, that's one of my favorite. And
Yeah.
what a song that is. I'm
Yeah.
like, talk about story songs. I mean, that's the way you write them. And so I'm born in the USA and so on. Wow. I mean, what a man and what a legacy. And rightly known as I'm not sure what I call him, the boss, but anyway, I wonder who coined that actually. Can you give yourself a nickname?
Yes.
Uh, can you?
Yeah.
Okay. I might start calling myself, something along the same lines. Can't think of it yet, but I'll get there. All right, that was Bruce Springsteen. What else you got from where else are we going to go in the letter S? There's so
Oh,
much scope.
there is. Well, let's just get some of the easy ones out of the way. Somebody who we have not mentioned on the show for ages, and thank goodness he's going out on a stadium tour of America, or he would be on the phone saying, "Guys, why are you not talking about me?" That was my Sir Vivian accent attempt.
Jeez. Really? Wow. Okay. Yes.
So Vivian's first band that he was in before he joined the Wondrous Dio was Sweet Savage from Narn. Sweet Savage, who were part of Nwabum in the early days, in the early 80s. One of the probably prominent, if not the prominent, heavy metal band in Northern Ireland. Probably famously known for Metallica covering their one of their songs, "Killing Time." But yeah, Sweet Savage from Northern Ireland, featuring the wonderful Vivian Campbell, and Simon McBride was in them as well too for a little while.
Okay. Great. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sweet Savage still going strong, kind of. Um, yeah, 1979 to present, it says on Wikipedia, which
Yeah,
means they're still going. Well, talking of Nwabum, of course, we can't mention Nwabum without one of the mainstays and one of those that have stood the test of time since then. In fact, they sang about Nwabum in one of their songs, Denim and Leather. It's the Mighty Saxon. Now featuring, of course, Brian Tatler of Diamond Head, another Nwabum band, on guitar. And Saxon, wow, what a band. I mean, they formed in 1976. They predated New Wobham. New Wobham, of course, for those who don't know, is the new wave of British heavy metal, which lasted from 1979 to 1982. A term coined by the music magazine Sounds, of course, another S.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Did
So-
you did you watch? So, or did you watch?
Did I watch?
Did you read Sounds?
Did I watch
Was that-
Sounds? No, I read it. I didn't watch it. I mean, I sort of watched it and then I picked it up and read it. But yes, so I did buy Sounds for a few years, and it was superseded by Kerrang that we mentioned many times. But Saxon are, well, again, one of those iconic bands, still going strong. Proper heavy metal they are, fronted by Biff Byford. And
Is it Byford?
yes, it is. It is not Bifford. Oh, you know, the thing is, it could be, couldn't it, really? It's a bit like, as you said about just about everyone in the world of rock. It could be Liner, Freely Fraley, Bifford Byford. No, it's Biff Byford. Peter Biff Byford.
Yes.
Give him his full name. He featured in the Bees, of course. Also in the S's, a band that I saw last weekend, the Scorpions, who were formed in the year I was born, for crying out loud.
Really?
So they're 40 odd years old, at least. Yes, Scorpions. Admittedly, Rudolf Schenker and I mean, they were very young at the time, of course. Rudolf Schenker and Klaus Meine were in the band then, and now they are reaching their twilight years, but they're still going strong. So again, a magnificent catalogue of songs and albums over the years. As I said earlier, Wind of Change through to Love Drive and Bad Boys Running Wild and so on. There's a theme in their songs, though, which I won't go into, but it does quite often sort of date them to the 80s when there's a lot of mention of, you know, girls and women and, you know, backstage and so on. But we won't go into that. So that was the Scorpions. What else you got for us? You got any other S's?
So, Matt, another S, a band that we have been championing for Stone Dead. Slayer for
Yes.
Stone Dead.
They need to reform first, of course, but
Well, they kind
Yeah.
of have
okay,
for
yeah,
two shows.
that's true. 1981.
Yeah.
1981, they were formed.
1981. They were
a bit
formed
northern.
in Barnsley.
I'm still thinking about Saxon, you see. Formed in 1981 in where else but California.
Aye.
One of the big four, of course, thrash. They basically invented thrash. Magnificent. I mean, the pure energy of that band. I mean, just stick on, you know, anything from Seasons in the Abyss to South of Heaven to Raining Blood, and you'll see what I mean. It's just absolutely kind of, you know, just smashes you in the face. Talk about bass drum in the chest. Just smashes you in the face and then
Yeah.
kicks you in the stomach and then, you know, asks you if she wants some more. It's just absolutely magnificent.
Yeah. And then you meet Tom Araya.
He's lovely.
And he's absolutely lovely.
They're absolute pussycats, those guys. Kerry King, of course, the master of the riff. The King got a new album out, which we almost reviewed last episode, but we didn't. Too scared to. In case we said a bad thing and he came around our house and smashed us over the head with a flying V. Yes, Slayer, the mighty Slayer. I'm going to throw in a few other notable mentions at this stage. Status Quo, of
Yes.
course. The mighty Quo, still going.
Yeah.
They formed in about 1960 some odd as well. I mean, they're still Francis Rossi, of course, still the only original member now, sadly. But the mighty Quo. We talked about them last time, I think, with Quo. Was it last time under Q for Quo Live? But yeah, Quo, mighty Quo, Status Quo. People outside the UK are thinking, who, why, when, who are they? But yeah, Status Quo, a British institution, and long may they reign.
Oh, well,
What else you got for us, Bri?
I have to put in one of my favorite bands. Probably made the greatest single in 1982 from the soundtrack of Rocky 3. That would be The Wondrous Survivor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You half pick them, don't you, in the context of all these other bands you can choose. And you pick Survivor and Sweet Savage.
I love Survivor. Survivor,
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, Too Hot to Sleep, Jimmy Jameson, Dave Bickler, great singer. Great singer, Survivor, fabulous band.
Yeah, absolutely. Got slightly kind of, tarnished as being a one-hit wonder, didn't they? But they've got some, a bit more of a catalogue than that.
And another band that somewhat gets tarnished with being maybe I don't want to say, a one-hit wonder, but maybe cheesy singles and Christmas songs is good old Slade. So in the UK, Slade are, and I know you saw them, and was it at Donington? And I can remember loads of people when they talk about, the Donington Festival, when they go through the years, when they say, who's the best band that you've seen? And they'll do AC/DC or Van Halen. And they say, who surprised you the most? And the two bands that people talk about is Blackfoot and Slade, and how heavy Slade were.
They were magnificent. Both of those bands that day, actually. Donington Monster Rock 1981. I was even on the cover of, actually not the cover, but in the picture in Kerrang magazine, looking from the stage to the audience when Slade were on, and they threw toilet rolls into the stage for some reason. But they were great. Yeah, good old Slade. Yeah, much more than a one-hit wonder. They had about 15 number ones in the UK. Still renowned as that for that Christmas number one, which earns them a fortune every June, apparently. Let's move on. Let's also mention Soundgarden.
Yes.
We mentioned Skid Row earlier, the magnificent Soundgarden, fronted by late, great Chris Cornell, of course. We've got, courtesy of many of our listeners, put this on Facebook, we've got Shinedown. Love Shinedown. What a
great singer. Great singer. Yeah.
Well, in fact, Brent Smith, you put together a Smith super, what are they called? Supergroup. Supergroup, that's it. You put together talk us through the Smith supergroup.
I couldn't really call them the Smiths because that name's taken.
No.
That's
true.
That was, so I called it the Smith Band. So I'm
so imaginative.
I know. So my drummer, you actually choice of two drummers. Let's have Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers or Steve Smith from Journey. You decide.
Yeah. I'll go with both of them, actually. I'll take both. Double drummer band.
You're going like Adam and the Ants.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Allman Brothers.
Yeah, anyone who's got two drummers, basically.
Then we were struggling for bass players. So bass players wise, you could either have Rhonda Smith from Jeff Beck or Prince's band, or Kurt Smith from Tears for Fears.
Yeah. All right. Good shout.
Guitarists, well, we would have to have Adrian Smith in there as one of the lead guitarists. And then rhythm guitar, I would go for G.E. Smith. And G.E. Smith played with Hall & Oates. Phenomenal guitar player. He also was the house band leader for Saturday Night Live for about 20 years. So there's a great video of G.E. playing with Eddie Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen turned up at Saturday Night Live once, and they kind of made up a jam with Eddie. And then I was struggling for a vocalist, and I was kind of going, well, we'll go Robert Smith for Cure, but you nailed the lead vocalist in the Smith Band.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Patti Smith.
Oh, there is Patti Smith. There's two Patti Smiths.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Brent Smith from Shinedown, of course. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I completely forgot where I was there for a minute. Yes. Well, yeah, magnificent. The Smith Band. I think that's one of the best names ever, Brian. Can't think of anything better than that. What else we got? We've got, in the interest of time, we've got Steel Panther, Spinal Tap. You can put those together. That'd be fun. Sex Pistols. Stereophonic, Stained, The Struts, Skindred, fantastic Skindred. Go and see them if you get a chance.
Smashing Pumpkins, Soul Asylum, Slipknot, the sensational Alex Harvey Band, Sepultura, Santana, and a lovely little band from Canada called Saga, who I love.
Yeah, you mentioned Saga a few times. And great. And then we can't not mention the Schenker brothers, Scott Stapp, Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley,
Rick Savage,
Ringo Starr, some bloke who used to play with Thin Lizzy with the long hair and a back Les Paul. What was his name?
Oh, John
something.
Sykes.
John Sykes. Ringo Starr, I mentioned him, and many others. I'm also going to give a shout out to the saxophone, a much maligned instrument in the world of rock music. Pick out a few saxophone-based rock songs from Foreigner and UFO and
Oh, why?
one or two others. Yeah,
Urgent.
Yeah. Yes. Well, no. Time is getting ticking on. We might as well crack on then. Snowdon Festival, we mentioned that, which is good. Songs about the summer. There's been thousands of those. Stick those on. Songs about songs from the wood. You name it, we've got it. So we'll stick those on the playlist for next time. Anything else in the letter S you want to mention?
No, we're okay. I've covered all mine.
I covered all yours, so you're all right then. I've got a couple more pages to go, if that's right with you.
We'll put that on the extended Patreon page for
Yes.
4 hours of S.
Indeed. Well, by the way, thanks for everyone on who put ideas on Facebook. Hopefully we mentioned yours. If not, then sorry, we'll mention you next time.
Yeah.
But appreciate that when everyone chips in. Makes our life easy, doesn't it? Don't have to think of anything. Just read it off a piece of paper. Great. Right.